Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Satbo Reads Books. Who's Satbo? It's me and I talk books. So today I'm coming at you guys with a book review. So this is my first ever book review video on this channel. So I'm really excited about it. Ignore the books in the back. I just don't have anywhere to put them on my bookshelf because my bookshelf is full. So if you have any tips on how to sort out your bookshelf, let me know in the comments. I'm just gonna put that right there. I don't need that right now. Okay, so I wanted to review Open Water by Caleb Azumah Nelson, and this book is coming out in February 2021. One thing I also forgot to mention is that I read it on ebook, so obviously the physical copies are not out yet, so I read it on my Kindle. Yeah. So I literally just finished it earlier today, and I'm just left with so many thoughts. I was just like, do you know what, let me just come and record a quick YouTube video about it before I not to say that I'll forget my thought. Well, there was a lot of thoughts, so I feel like I was going to forget them, but the book is not forgettable, if that makes sense. So if I keep looking at my phone, it's because I wrote a review, so I'm going to kind of bounce off that written review as well. So Open Water is by Caleb Azumah Nelson, and it's a book about two young people. So we've got, they're Black British, so obviously that the book already gives I've already given the book high marks for that, because I love a Black British book, because I'm always looking for those. So a Black British couple who meet in a pub in Southeast London. So obviously shout out to my Southeast Londoners. When I said Southeast, listen, I'm always down for the book. It's already 5 stars. So they meet and it talks about their relationship. But one thing I realised is this book, I really thought this book was just going to be a romance about how this black couple, black man, black woman, they meet in a pub, and it talks about their relationship and how romance just blossoms from there, like your typical romance book. But after reading the book, I'm just like, this actually isn't a romance in the typical sense. Yes, there is a bit of romance involved, but it's not a romance novel as I first thought it was. It's actually kind of like an insight into a Black British young man, and this book is such a rare gem in the fact that I've never read a book from a Black British man's perspective before. So it's unique. This is the first time I'm ever reading it from that, and the book is written in second person again. So again, that is something I've never seen before. Usually books are first or third person, they, them, or I. But when a book comes in from a narrative of you walked and you saw her across the road, you did this, you did that, that is really, I'm stuttering, but it's a really unique way to write a book, and I've never seen it before. With this book, there were so many firsts for me, and I just loved that because it was an entire new experience that I really appreciate, and I'm grateful that I got the experience, I got the chance to actually read this book now, because now's the time to do that. Because initially this weekend I was going to go out to Cambridge and just read and write, but London went into tier 3 in it, so I'm stuck in my house. So obviously it would have been nice to be able to walk around Cambridge and stuff like that, but I guess I'm stuck in my house doing the same thing, but I get to save money, but that's besides the point. So this weekend I really dove into this book, and there was so much, it was overwhelming, because I'm like, this book is fantastic. I was just savouring the words that Caleb was writing. His sentences are amazing. The book is so poetic, and I love how deep this book is. There is so much depth and layers to this book. It's absolutely fantastic. Boy, this book, it really shows the character. Wait, hold on, let me go back to what I was saying. So obviously it's in second person. So you did this, you did that, and I felt like, first of all, when I was reading the book, I was like, oh shit, like I don't think I'm gonna get this book, because it's a totally new perspective that I've never read from before. So it took me a while to get used to it. But then as I got towards the middle and towards the end, I was like, do you know what, this is actually a really powerful way to do it, because it really puts the reader in the mind of this man. I'm not sure if we're given a name, because I can't recall a name for the character, because it's always you, and then the girl that he's with or he falls in love with is always her. So there isn't names, which again is powerful in itself, because it can be like it's like anyone's experience, but we look at it at a deeper level. I know I keep saying that, but the book was actually really deep, because it explores more than just love. It explores how a black man is vulnerable, and how that kind of I don't want to spoil the book, but that plays into his relationship with the woman that he falls in love with. He kind of explores ideas of what it means to be black, just being seen as a black body. And Caleb, the author, he puts in a lot of references to a lot of black media, so other black books, other black movies, photos, where those kind of explore the black being as well, and he ties that into the story, and it's just brilliant. I find myself at times googling some of these references, and I'm just like, or I knew some of them already, and I was just like, do you know what, this adds another layer to the novel, because we're really into the young man's thoughts. And I didn't mention this before, but the two people that fall in love, they're creative. So she's a dancer and he's a photographer. So again, we're seeing his perspective on love from a creative point. You know, creatives, they love to think deep in it. So it was a brilliant book. It was a fantastic book. I can't wait for it to come out, because it's actually been released in February 2021, so not that far to go. But one thing I'm really looking forward to as well is the audiobook of this. Listen, they need to get a black man to like read this book. I would be so excited to listen to the audiobook of this book, because I was trying to imagine someone else reading this to me, and I was just thinking, the way Caleb writes, it needs to be read out loud for you to really experience. How can I say this in a way that it's just like, I feel like this book needs to be experienced. So I'd highly recommend you go out and go get this book. When it comes out in February, I'll definitely get a physical copy, and if the audiobook comes out, you will catch me playing that like all the time. So I can't wait to reread this book. My rating for this book, I gave it a 4 out of 5. 4 because obviously the writing is absolutely amazing. The metaphors, the sentences, the links with other media, and I just absolutely, it was poetic. That's all I can say. It was very poetic, and it was brilliant the way it was written. The reason why I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 is because at some point I was getting lost in the book, but I think that was just me, because I was looking too deeply into the book rather than remembering like the bigger picture of what's going on. And obviously I gave it a 4 out of 5 because it's set in London, so there were places that were being named, like Deptford, New Cross, that I know, and like I could visualize myself in those areas with this young man, like, and see them doing their thing, you know, going out, like going to the chicken shop, just going to parties and enjoying themselves. That's what I really love. Southeast, come on, shout out you, Mandem. But yeah, I think it's an absolute brilliant book. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. Go support Caleb and the publishers that are publishing it. Absolutely brilliant book. And I definitely will reread it in 2021. Like, it's such a good book. That's all I can say. Like, it's such a good book. But yeah. I feel like I'm lost for words because I literally just finished it like a couple of hours ago. So I'm still kind of like meditating on like what I've just read, and seeing it from a reader's perspective and from a writer's perspective. I think it's such a brilliant book, and I just hope it blows in the UK because it's absolutely fantastic. It's such a rare gem because it's told from a black man's perspective, and you know, those men don't like to talk about their feelings. So to actually read what someone is going through, and something traumatic happens to the young man, and we see how it plays out in his relationship with the young woman, and again it takes you with him, like, because the book says you're thinking of it as yourself. Like, how would I feel if I experienced this traumatic event that he experienced? Yeah. So I feel like I can't even talk too much because I'm really speechless because the book was actually really, really good. Yeah, brilliant book. As I said before. My camera rudely shut off there, but thank you so much for joining me in this video, in this short review. Hopefully I'll be able to bring you more reviews. I'm trying to read as much as I can, especially this is like Christmas holidays. When school starts again in January, oh my gosh, like, am I gonna have time? But we'll see. I'm gonna be really organised in 2021. I'm waiting for my planner to come, so I'm so excited for that. But yeah, I'll definitely be recording more videos. I want to see if I can put more up more often, rather than once a week. But yeah, if you have any other video suggestions as well, you can put it down in the comments section below. Thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.